Hey splashers, welcome back to the channel Splash of Prudencia. If this is your first time here, thanks for stopping by. My name is Prudence, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be teaching you guys how to sew a two bosia having these straps. The last time I taught you guys how to draft it, so if you've not seen the video, do well to check it. It is the previous video before this one. If this is what you're interested in, hit the subscribe button and let's dive in. So like I mentioned in the last tutorial, I already taught you guys how to do the drafting process. So this tutorial is for the sewing process. I have this fabric here I'm going to be using, and I also have my lining. It's about 3 yards. So as you can see, I already traced out my patterns using the fabric and the lining piece. You can see I left ½ inch on top, on the side and the down part. Also for this side front, I left ½ inch all through, and if you notice at the side here, I left 0.25. This is because by the time I fold in, I don't want my allowance to reduce. The allowance we used, if you remember, is 1.5, so I added that 0.25 so that by the time I turn it over, it is still going to be a 1.5 inches sewing allowance left. So I hope you understand this. The next thing we are going to do is to bring in the center front and the side front. We are going to be placing them this way and sewing using ½ inch. By the time you are placing it, make sure the underbust laps, make sure they are on the same place, make sure it is equal. So we are just going to sew ½ inch all around, and then we'll place the other part of it. You can see I already went ahead to interface this. So let's go to the sewing machine. It's an easy one. Just sew ½ inch, and if you notice, this interfacing I used looks like a cloth. The texture is really nice for this kind of fabric. It gives it a little strength and then making it retain the quality of the fabric. So do well to take it slowly. You don't have to rush, so that everything can be equal. Be sure to start from the down so that any excesses you have will be at the top. So what we have just done for this cup here, we are going to do it for the other cup too, and we are going to repeat it for the lining piece too. Whatever you are doing on the fabric, be sure to repeat on the main lining. Okay, as you can see, the interfacing I used for this was just half of the center front. So this is what we'll have after sewing using ½ inch on both sides. So this is what we'll have. I didn't really pad it, I just used a cloth gum, but you can see how firm it looks. So the next thing we're going to do is to notch this. By the time we notch it, it will be free and easy for us to open it up. Okay, if you don't notch it, it is not going to relax. So this is how we are going to open it flat and use paper gum to seal it up. And the perfect tool for opening this up is your tailor's hammer. I have a video on how to make one if you don't have it already. So we are going to be placing the back piece together with the lining together. We are going to set this aside first. As you can see, this is what I have after laying this flat and then covering it with my paper gum. You can see this sealing makes it neater, and you can see how neat it comes out even if I didn't add any wording to it. You can see the lining piece also. I used just paper gum, but you can see how firm it looks. That's the essence of doing a proper drafting. So if you've not watched the drafting video, do well to watch that first so you can understand what we're doing. The process I used for this lining is just sewing it and top stitching. Now I just trimmed off the excess. For this lining, you don't have to stress yourself to start using your tailor's hammer to open and all that. Just top stitch. So I went ahead to sew these straps. You can see the allowance I have is excess, so I just want it to like fill it in by the time we turn it over, because this is the kind of sleeve we want to do. We want it to have that kind of thickness, so I did not trim the sides. We are going to turn this over. For the length, I just made sure it was super long because we'll be twisting it for 2 hands. So just make sure it's super long and make it excess at the side, the sewing allowance, so that by the time you turn it over, it seems that those excess fills it up and gives it one kind of thickness. So I'm just going to divide this strap I have by 2. After dividing it by 2, I'm going to twist it for each sleeve. Just take note of what I am doing. You can decide to fill this up if you want it to be firmer. You can fill it up with cotton or with foam. whichever is your choice. But for this tutorial, I did not fill it up because I love the texture I have already. So you're going to be twisting it. If you have someone close by, the person can hold the top there for you to twist, but for me, I was the only one there, so I used my teeth to hook it and then twist it. Don't do a tight twisting, just be flexible with your twist. We are going to repeat this process for the 2 sleeves. I just made sure to make it long enough so that by the time I'm sewing, any excesses I have, I'm going to be trimming it off. Just make sure it's enough, instead of it to be less. So this is what I have. I'm going to be pinning the both ends down and then go to my machine to top stitch so this doesn't fall out of place. So you can see what we'll have. Folding it in 2 is going to serve for our sleeve. We'll do that for the other sleeve also. You can see this is really beautiful. So for you to know the length you are going to be using for this strap, the yoke here, you can see that line we connected to the bust point earlier on. Just measure what you have on that line and then measure your strap. But for me, the strap was more than what I have, but I left it because I don't want a case where I have to adjust. So I'll wait for my client to fit the dress before I trim off anything. So I'm just going to place the strap on the front here. You see that bust point line, we are going to place the 2 straps on each of that line there. So I'm only placing it on the front. I would not attach it at the back for now until my client fits it, so that I will know the exact length to use for it. But if in the case where you do not have your client there, you can measure this yoke, it will still work fine. So we are going to tack this. After tacking this, we are going to place the lining on top of it, right sides facing each other this way. Be sure to work with your pins, okay, to make sure the 2 lines where you have your lines, make sure your lines on the lining and the fabric always matches. So you are going to sew it all around, but except for the down here where we'll be turning it over from. But for now, I will just sew the top and top stitch before I sew the sides. So for the back also, just sew it all around, leaving the down also. So this is what I have after sewing the top. I didn't sew the side because I wanted to top stitch this top part first. So I'm just going to go ahead to remove the pins. I also work with pins, so don't be shy working with pins. It actually makes your work neater. So go ahead to notch it for it to have the relaxed feeling, and then you open it up and top stitch. Okay, as you can see, the lining is showing on the front. We don't want that. So by the time you top stitch, it is going to lay flat. These are things that iron cannot be able to correct properly. So when you top stitch and then you join the sides, okay, we'll do that and we'll be back. This is what we'll have after top stitching and then joining the sides. Like I said, I did not join the down because that's where we'll be turning it over from. So you can see we're done with turning the front and the back. So we are going to place them on the 2 sides. Be sure to differentiate where your zipper allowance is and where your side is. I used an arrow to indicate mine. It can be confusing. So you divide your measurements by 4, your horizontal measurement, that's your bust. Just start from the middle there. There's a line at the middle, the center front there I placed while ironing. So use that line to divide your measurements by 4, measure from there and sew the sides. For now, we are not attaching this sleeve to the back because I want my client to fit it first. So this is what we'll have after joining the sides using our measurement divided by 4. Take note of that. So for the chest line, which is the above bust, I started from the middle and divided my measurements by 4. I actually measured my above bust on my client to know how fitted or tight that top part will be. So as I was sewing the other side, I measured that up part using that measurement. So as you can see, this part is not equal, so I'm just going to fold it in 2 and just try to equalize it. So this is what we'll have for the upper part. You can even decide to use it as a top. In that case, you can just use anything to hem the down like a bias. So this is what we'll have. The next thing we're going to come with is our fabric for the gathers at the down part. So I already cut out the length I had. Here's how I did it. My half length is 20, so I actually subtracted 20 from my tape before measuring, and then I added sewing allowance and then So pay attention to how we'll be getting this part. If you notice while we're drafting, we drafted on a straight line before we went up from the side by 3.5 inches to create that basque waistline effect. Now my normal half length is 20 inches, right? So take note of how I'll do this. This is folded in 4, take note, and it is 3 yards of fabric. It is folded in 4. So my half length is 20. Remember, to create my basque waistline, I went up by 3.5. So if you subtract 3.5 from 20, you have 16.5 inches. So place your tape starting from that 16.5 inches and take it down to where your length stops. So my client's length is 60 inches. So the extra 2 there is just for the folding of the down and the joining. I hope you understand that. So be sure to subtract your half length before measuring, and I went ahead to notch every part of this. Okay, so after notching it, now I'm going to be opening it up. It was folded in 4 before, but now it's folded in 2. So there's a notch at the middle there. What we want to do is to give this gathers part a basque effect too, because if you don't do that, you notice that when you wear the gown, the front part is kind of longer. So I'll come down by that same 3.5 inches we went up by at the side of that half length, and from the middle part here, that is after folding it into 2, I'm just going to slant it to meet with that 3.5 inches we went down by, and then notch it. So that's all you need to know. You are going to notch the 4 parts of this half length, just the middle and the 2 side line. So every notch should fall on the notches on this half length. So the lining is going to have the same effect. So this is what we'll have after gathering it. You can see how beautiful it looks and the fact that it laps really well. So for the lining too, you can use any number of yards you have. The more, the fuller. So fold it in 4 also to get your notches. After notching it, we are going to fold it in 2, and then on the middle, just make sure it's on the part you have on a fold. Okay, the middle, come down by 3.5 inches and then curve it to meet with the middle notch there. So after trimming this off, I'm going to use this to like give the gathers a neat finishing. Now instead of just placing it on top this way, we are going to turn it over and then placing the lining from this part. When you do it this way, you discover that by the time you turn it over, you are going to have a neat finishing both on the inside and on the outside. So we'll do that and then we'll be back. So this is what we'll have after gathering this lining on the dress. You can see how neat it looks, and by the time we turn it over, you can see just how neat and beautiful the inside of the dress looks, not to talk of the outer part. So this is what we'll have. The next thing we are going to do now is to close up the sides. Okay, close up these sides. So just turn it over and then sew just probably with 0.25 inches. Just turn it over this way and then you sew. We are going to sew it for the 2 sides. This actually makes your work easier. If you notice the way we made this dress now, the only part you'd see like a joining is just the allowance we have inside. Okay, so this is what we'll have after sewing the sides. After turning it, you can see what it looks like. So the next thing we are going to do is to fix in the zipper. We are going to close this in and then just use your zipper to gauge where you would want it to end. Wherever you want it to end, just start sewing from there. You sew on a straight line down. After doing that, you are going to fix your zip and then fold the hem using the number of allowance you left before. You can decide to serge it if you have a serging machine. So this is what we'll have after fixing the zipper. You can see how beautiful it looks. So I'm going to wait for my client to fit it before I actually tack the strap. You can see the results of the dress, how beautiful and neat it looks. So if you enjoyed this video and if you watched up to this point, do well to hit the subscribe button and leave me a comment. That actually helps to grow the channel. And if you've not seen the drafting video, do well to watch that first so you'll be able to understand how we came about this sewing process. I actually have a free class for fashion designers. Do well to check the details on my bio on Instagram. Until next time, keep splashing, guys.